it online as well, or?
Okay.
Setting it up.
A lot of noise.
Flying along, not a good job. It's starting to look better, you know, it's a pretty job market out there. He applied for the key position of land trust, and he got his first interview.
Yeah, the biggest
Somebody said, Carol's on here. Jobs 400 or
Yeah.
USAA.
Yeah.
It's not a great job. We have to keep on going. I don't have my cat here. We got to do that.
Yeah, my neighborhood too, Paradise Bay, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Hello, indeed. Watch it. I don't know if you caught when I sent to Carolyn. Yeah, somebody should say it.
It's pretty well done. Yeah, in the last couple of years, I've been stand off here now. They fall in the LD24 race. You have a horse like and sort of fill in steep there in your spot. Well, there's the district, you know, steep there in your second round. That's another big race. We work really closely with the she's going to that. I think she went for Steve's spot. She's blonde and then there's three Democrats. We'll burn them all. These yeah, she's always been this great shooter. Yeah.
There she is.
Again, so
I can project when we're ready.
yeah, go for it.
Okay, so a couple things are on our radar, some policy changes and just updates in general. The big one that we have is an adjustment coming to our low-income program. The low-income program right now is currently a flat rate, so if you qualify for it, and that could be just standard low-income or senior low-income, it would be a $71 or $73 currently flat rate that you receive on your billing or credit to it. Now, as of July 5th, it would be going up to 77 if we stayed with that. However, to keep up with state standards, we've actually shifted to a tiered model. And tiered model means it's actually a way for us to help identify folks that are most at risk and at need. So the tier model basically looks at how much of your income goes toward your energy burden. So that is greater than 6%. It's considered an extreme energy burden. And we're able to identify folks based on their percentage level. So we're going to be able to give folks 30% off. If you have greater than 6% energy burden, you receive a 30% discount on your bill. And that also is an indicator for us to then mobilize our energy efficiency specialists to work with that household to weatherize and come up with ways that they can actually save to get them out of that energy burden state. That's a lot of your income. Below that, the next tier, under 6% is 10%, and then there's also a third tier that's considerably lower, but still qualifies, where you save on the base rate essentially. So that's $4 a month. Now, as a whole, we all pay a base rate on our utility, on our power bill. That base rate is state set, but we get to determine how much needs to be spread across all of us. So of that base rate, it's about $35 now. $4 of that goes toward just supporting low-income state authorized programs. So the key for us, though, this does benefit us as a utility by helping us find where need is at and really putting an emphasis on it. You might be asking, how are you going to help people who are already struggling with their bills weatherize their home? It's not exactly going to be like, hey, I have no income, I need a heat pump now. I'm not going to shell out $15,000 for a heat pump. So what we're actually doing is a really unique program. We have a whole bunch of carbon credits that the state, it's like fungible tokens out there in the world, where you either use them or you lose them. And we're actually going to sell these on the open market to anyone who wants to offer on them. And it's about $3 million worth of tokens, I guess, out there. That will immediately go toward weatherization for income qualified customers. So that's a huge win for them. Because again, if you're barely making it by month to month, we've got to make it accessible. The other one is a huge win. As part of that funding source is a grant that just came through for here, and that is a $1.3 million grant that we received, or have provisional awarding. They have about a month till it closes when they review everything, but we just got notice of that about 2 days ago. So that's really cool. A good pot of money to work with to help people, and we're excited to be kicking that off. That will be at our next board meeting, a resolution to pass the updates. So that does, as part of it, do away with the senior low-income discount. It just puts everybody under one tier rating. So yeah, hopefully I have some good news on that.
So should this pass, when do you anticipate this all actually happening?
So the implementation of the $4, the big change will be probably early fall. And we're gonna have final timelines on that when, because on like the website side, I have to make it easy. That's what I run. Make it easy for people to understand what's happening. But you can kind of look for that early fall, late summer.
Great, thank you.
The other one that maybe is a little less popular or good that has happened is a policy change on our broadband front. Now, this doesn't really impact this area particularly because of our grant funding boundaries. However, we are shifting away from our $750 construction cost share and our $1,200 construction cost share that we've basically talked about since the very beginning of our broadband network. And the reason for that is we've looked very closely at how many people have defaulted on what's already been agreed upon to pay for these, because you could spread it out over 36 months, and over half of them have defaulted. So that's a big problem. These are also folks that are beyond what we call a take rate for the grant itself. A take rate for an area just outside of here is 60%. So that means that everyone up to that point got free construction. It was covered by the grant. Beyond that, we created these thresholds to try and help us get more people connected just outside of that funding pool. Unfortunately, when you look at the cost of running fiber to the home, $750 is just a drop in the bucket. And that cost is then spread across, it's subsidized more or less for everything. Underground construction on average in our county, about $3,700. And it could actually go up from there with inflation. So overhead construction is a little closer, it's about $1,600 for a drop to the home. But again, that's far cry from $750 if you're asking. So our board, as of June 2nd, they said to enact, just to put a hold on new registrations for it. Those who have signed up are grandfathered in. We will maintain the terms and stick with that. But yeah, that one could be, we want to connect everybody, and the goal is to revisit it once our grant funded project areas are done and ready. So unfortunately, that can be a big delay for some people who are like eagerly waiting. But we have deadlines by the state that we have to hit for this grant funding and to stay in budget. So that is our priority number one, and the goal is to get back to it. But that is the latest and greatest on my front. Any questions?
Yeah, I have one. In regards to the subsidies for folks, how do you do the outreach to get the folks to know that they can't afford to pay their bills?
So, on the,
Yeah, on the first topic.
okay.
The assistance.
So currently, it's an interesting, so the folks that can't pay their bills, that's gonna actually be on our, energy efficiency specialist to identify. So when you automatically will sign up, you'll be going through our attestation process, which is when you fill out your application for a low income application process, they ask for gross income, they ask for everything, and how much of your energy, that could even be propane and wood, if you can actually track that with receipts. That does count also toward this energy burden. That's cost you're putting toward paying for heating your home. So that automatically bulks you. We know if you're in that 30% category, 30% of your bill is covered, then we already know who you are, where you're at, and how to contact you, because you already have an account with us, so we then can go out and touch base. And that includes a home energy audit. Like our specialist will actually come out to the house, walk you through everything that's in the home, whether you need insulation, it could be windows are a huge one. Yeah, those are the ones people don't often think about. Heat pump water heaters, heat pumps themselves, if it's actually viable. That's moving from an electric resistance heat to a heat pump. Yeah, all sorts of methods. And it's a free thing. Like they'll come out and do a check.
Well, thank you.
Just to tag on, Jameson, to the question, how do you get the message out there? The other way is through partnerships. Our CARES unit is very fluent with the low-income program that PUD offers, and it's very regular that we encounter somebody that's either had their power shut off, doesn't know what to do, or they're about to, and we'll walk them through the process, and your staff is very accommodating, because we'll call them up in real time and won't let the phone go until we can get them signed up into a program. So partnerships are really important.
Yeah, and we're bringing our assistants in-house too. That's another little kind of quieter move. We have originally used Old Cap and St. Vincent de Paul to distribute things like our rainy day fund, which is donations from everyone who wants to put in $1 or $5 or whatever it might be a month to help low income or folks who are struggling with their bills. We originally would have a third party like Old Cap distribute that. However, we're bringing that in-house finally because we have the mechanisms to actually do it and make it as efficient as possible to get the funding to everybody, because, I mean, why not do it in-house if we can? And so that's a big win as well.
Yes.
Any other questions, or? All right, I'm gonna make the long walk.
Get those steps in.
Oh, it's the tripping hazard.
Might as well.
That's right,
Halfway,
we do need music.
So gotta walk.
It is on wheels. You wanna talk about this real quick, just as long as I got it up?
Oh, yeah. If you walk the Falls Trail and where we have a pump house, the Artist League has offered to paint this mural, which is beautiful. I just love it. So, anything else with that?
Nope, just making it official that it's gonna happen and they're gonna do it. And it's a beautiful mural, I think. There's nothing to shoot.
They were really excited.
Apparently they changed their mind.
It's great. Is that what?
That's the mural they're gonna paint on the
Yeah,
pump
that's
house,
exactly.
at the base of the falls, yeah.
Yes.
They had 9 designs, I think, that you guys all looked at and decided on?
Yeah, and once it's completed, I think they wanna do some kind of ceremony.
Yeah.
Christian it or, and so we'll let everyone know and everyone can show up, it'll be fun.
And then we can move on to all the water towers.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, that'd be cool.
And I don't know, when we're talking about trails today, the Falls Terrace is really a cascading fall, because it doesn't have the height. But if you take the Falls Terrace Trail, or Ludlow Falls Trail, and you go to the right, there's another trail that goes to the right. And I don't know the length of that one, but it actually goes to a falls. And a much taller one, so, I need to walk that, I have not done that yet.
It's 1.7 miles.
Nice. Yeah, that's great.
It's called the Creek View.
Preview. Old trail.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'm excited, I want to go do it. Okay, so, I get it, that's why I said Falls Terrace. Falls Terrace is the subdivision that we are in for permit, that will be where our offices are. And basically we'll go from Paradise Bay to Oak Bay, that site there. It's gonna be 53 single-family homes. And, we're working with the county currently on the permit, and we're providing some additional information that they requested. And then for Olympic Water and Sewer, we went through the huge task of getting every person to respond to a survey, which was required by UTC. And now what we're doing is we're following up on those surveys, because some of them were confusing. Some people said yes and no to the same things that I'm not sure if they should be on the program or not. So we're going through that program and actually meeting with the homeowner and being able to walk through the questions. That coincided with our annual backflow testing, which was due in our office by June 1st. And I think we have about 400 or 500 people on that list. And so anyone who hasn't given us that testing, we sent out a postcard today. So if you get a postcard, that's what we're looking for. And then we continue to work on the wastewater treatment plan. Part of that plan is that we had to do an O&M, operations and maintenance, report, and that report has been completed and has been sent to Department of Ecology. We also are required to do a sewer system plan. We're about 80% through that. Jason White has done enormous jobs on that, on reading all the chapters and correcting them and making sure that they're exactly what we have. So we're hoping that that will be completed, I'd say the next 90 days, and then we'll send it to the Department of Ecology and wait for their blessing. And we're also working through 30% of what the upgrade will look like. So we should have that too within the 90 days. We can go out, we can talk about it, we can meet with contractors. We'll need to be further along on that in order to get an actual bid from them. But it gives us an idea of what we're trying to accomplish. And we've actually figured out a way to also incorporate reducing some of the nitrogen that goes out into the bay. Our permit was renewed recently, and it's interesting how they do the test. So the test is 1 day, and no matter what that test is, that's your 30 days. Well, we do that test more frequently, and we said this is our average, but it doesn't matter. So that 1 day becomes your mark. That's it, you don't get any other options. We have been working hard to, we have to do a number of tests based on permit. And so Jason and their team has been working to bring that in-house so that they can do them, but we have to prove that our testing is equivalent to external testing. We have to certify that, and there's a lot of walking through it. So we're still in that process. We just did 5 vials from a test center against our 5, and they matched. So we were very happy, it's like, okay, we're doing the system right. So we'll continue that, and we're still getting our write-up, so we're working on that. And then, just thinking about events happening, tonight we have a stitch and step, actually,
I'm
going
sorry,
on.
could you speak up a bit, just a tad?
I'm sorry,
Could you speak up just a tad?
speak up a little more, sorry, or get a little closer.
It might not even be turned on yet.
Yeah.
It's on, oh, okay.
Want to even blow work back? Or-
It's on. Yeah.
All right, I'll just go closer, does that work? It's in my ears, I feel like I'm yelling. Anyways, the Stitch and Sip is tonight, starting at 3, goes to 5. We have an open studio, which is our artists coming and doing their artwork. And you can come and sit alongside them and enjoy some snacks and everything. That's the 3rd Wednesday of every month from 1 to 5. And then we have wine tasting next Tuesday, 15 at the door, 10 if you buy your tickets in advance. Helps give us some notice of how many people are coming. We're doing farm dinners right now on Wednesdays. The farmers are delivering to us. I was there a week and a half ago, so. It was a great meal. It was a really nice salad, and then you've got ribs and potatoes and vegetable, and then it ended up with a creme brulee. And that's $49 at the end. You can pair it with wine if you'd like to. And we still have happy hour every day, 4 to 6 p.m., 7 days a week. And then really cool, and I hope everyone will tell 10 of your friends and get them all to show up. Friday is the first Friday market that we've had in Port Ludlow for a really long time.
Tomorrow, yeah.
We're super excited. The Artist League has ran with this canvas. It's been amazing, and it sounds like they have a good turnout, and they're gonna have music. So seriously, go tell 10 friends, because if it doesn't get traction, it's gonna go away. So it'll be at the Village Center. Yeah, so really excited. We've moved dumpsters, done a couple things in there, tried to make that space a little nicer. But I'm super excited that she's here.
9 to 1.
9 to 1.
And PLVC will be there selling raffle tickets. I just put it out there.
And they're listed right there if you're interested.
That's right.
And then the other cool thing that's happening, it's a little bit late in the evening, but the knitters are here, a large group that comes in 3 times a year, and they produce yarn, they dye yarn, they do all kinds of cool stuff. I'm not a knitter, but I am a crocheter. So they hold a market. So they're gonna have a community market June 6th, it's 7 to 8:30, so it's late. Go to the inn, have dinner, and then go to the market. So that'll be fun. And beyond that, any questions? Great,
Thanks, Dan.
thanks.
Greg, you're up. Greg Brotherton, District 3 Commissioner.
Just waiting.
Always one guy.
Problem solver. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Greg Brotherton, your county commissioner. Glad to be with you. We've got a couple things I'd like to talk about, and then happy to talk about any other issues that are on your minds. First, I know the cell tower that's been proposed in Port Ludlow is an item of interest, and the hearing has been set for June 16th at 10 a.m. It's going to be only online. I did look through the staff report, and the staff did recommend approval of it. It will be ultimately up to the hearing examiner, and we delegate the board's quasi-judicial responsibilities to. It's going to be Stephanie Marshall, and I don't really know them. They recommended approval with 25 conditions. So I encourage you, if you have comments, I know they've received about 84 comments at the time of the staff report, and many were concerned. Of course, their job with this application, DCD's job as it is with all applications, is to get to yes, to find out what are the conditions with which the applicant can conclude their project. They don't get to suggest alternative sites or anything like that. It's just what are the conditions that would make this application comply with state and local code. So That is one issue. Another issue is fireworks. Talked about the contemplation the Board of County Commissioners is going to be making to do a complete ban on fireworks. That hearing is coming up on June 15th at 3 p.m. in the Commissioners' Chambers. You can also attend online. Will probably extend the online written testimony to the next week. I'm not sure exactly. But if you have comments on that, we'd love to hear from you. And just to remind you, the things that we're contemplating will take a year to go into effect if they're more restrictive. Those details include a complete ban on fireworks in the 2 windows allowed by the state, and a kind of an increase the scope of what is covered under this, including possession and transportation. So all of those changes would take effect a year later. And then also a reduction of the first and second offenses to $250 and $500. And those would take effect immediately because they are less restrictive, so they don't have that year window. Third, there's been some advocacy for changing the anchoring laws in Port Ludlow. The legislature actually updated the anchoring laws throughout the state. That's not at a marina or something, but out in the bay, dropping anchor and staying. So according to WAC, the Washington Administrative Code, you can't stay 30 days consecutively anchored somewhere or 90 days throughout the year in one place. So Captain Peter Joseph, who worked for the Coast Guard and other agencies, is proposing that we make some more restrictive rules in Port Ludlow Bay. So we're having a conversation this coming Monday on June 8th. It's kind of the last thing we're doing. We're planning around 3:30. This is just a workshop to kind of go over the white paper that Captain Joseph presented to us and to talk about the issues with Sheriff Bernsteiner, as well as our one officer that works on the water in the Sheriff's Department's boat. I'll say some concerns are, making different rules in Port Ludlow and other areas about anchoring would be a capacity drain on the Sheriff's Department. So I think we're approaching it with reservation, but open ears to hear what the proposal is, what the risks are, without additional restrictions, and love feedback on that as well. The comp plan amendments, the periodic update of our comprehensive plan for the county also proceeds apace. The Planning Commission had a hearing last week. They've continued that, and they'll deliberate at their next meeting on Wednesday, the 10th. So next Wednesday in the evening at Jefferson Transit online, they'll deliberate. They'll make a recommendation in a workshop to the Board of County Commissioners on June 22nd, and then we will either we can affirm their recommendation, assuming they make one at this June 10th meeting, or we can have our own public hearing where we would take additional testimony and contemplate any changes that were advisable. So those are the issues I came prepared to talk about. If there's any questions about those or anything else. Yeah, Jeff?
I have 2 questions for you. The anchor laws, what are they proposed? Locally? Like 2 weeks from Thursday?
I'm sorry, I can look when I sit down. I'll try to get into that email. It's on Laserfish. If you go in, a good way to look at future agenda items and past agenda items on the county website. We have a Laserfish link. You can get into all of our public documents essentially. And so the agenda items, because I looked through it already, are already there for if you go to Board of County Commissioners and then agenda packets, and then June 8th, you can get into Captain Joseph's paper, white paper and recommendations there. Sorry.
Okay. And then the other question, as I forewarned you, the median planters in front of the village store along Paradise Bay Road, a lot of people have come to us saying, can we form a work party and go clean those up, or who's going to take care of those? Why isn't Diana doing it? Why isn't the county doing it? My understanding is you guys have a contract with a landscape company to maintain those. Is that still in place?
I think that we did do that last year. We don't have capacity with the road crew right now. It's also chip seal season started, so I think the road crew is fully focused on chip seals. I would recommend anytime it gets a little high, especially if it's a safety hazard, if it's obstructing views, you're turning left out onto Paradise. or what have you, that you call the, there's a, not call, but online at the Public Works website, part of the website of the county website, you can report an issue and just report that that's getting a little out of hand, and they should, I think they contract with the Argonauts, actually, I'm not sure, but that the drainage district uses too, but and I can follow up with Public Works and also amplify that concern.
Okay, yeah, that'd be awesome. If it comes to the point where a group of people want to get together and try and go out there and maintain it themselves,
Of course.
could we work with? Well, I mean, we'd have to work with Public Works to like block the road for a little while, right, to do it safely?
If I recall, the last time they said they prefer to have someone with the proper safety gear to do it, rather than people just, gallivanting into the middle of the road. And once we start providing safety equipment for folks, it would probably be more efficient just to do it ourselves. So it comes down to capacity.
Okay. So letter writing campaign by the residents, and you're gonna follow up.
I'm gonna follow over there too.
Correct.
Greg, just, if you can, quickly, what's the thought process behind lowering the fines for illegally having fireworks?
Sure. Well, the fine right now is $1,000.
Right.
And one of the challenges from the sheriff's department is, right now it's only for setting off fireworks. And that's challenging to get people in the act. And they're like, oh no, we're just standing around these fireworks. And then second is often implementation of the law is only if it's reasonable. So you have deputies out there, if they're at Irondale or one of these locations with lots and lots of folks, and you start handing $1,000 tickets out, it feels like the punishment doesn't fit the crime. I mean, I'm kind of, I don't want to represent the sheriff's office, but there was a hesitancy to enforce it. And since we've created these fines, it's only been given to one person twice, and they were doing like MAs, out of their garage again and again, and people thought they were going to blow up the neighborhood. So if we're making sure that the punishment fits the crime, and that the deputies feel like a ticket is a reasonable response. They're usually, a sheriff's deputy is going, they're trying to de-escalate situations. If you give someone a $1,000 ticket for lighting off a bottle rocket, you're escalating the situation. So it's really about some of the psychology of the enforcement of laws.
Okay, thank you.
Can you also speak to the possibility of fining property owners?
Oh, yes, thanks. That is another addition that we're talking about, and that is holding the property owners liable for infractions that happen on their property. And through Title 19, which is our code enforcement code in the county. And so that is also being considered in the new code that we're considering.
So finding the property owner, regardless of who's doing the
Yes.
That is my understanding, and
That's correct.
having attended their meetings online, that you get sheriff's deputies showing up to say, who's doing this? And everybody's like, not me.
Right.
Well, then,
It's in your yard, so
but
yeah.
it's in your yard.
Yeah, okay,
And so,
I approve that, I think
yeah,
that's nice.
I think that was.
Thank you for the reminder. Yes, Howard?
Well, I have a comment. It's probably nothing you can do about it. I've always liked the idea of the community stepping up to work along with county or city when the city or county don't have the funds to do the work.
We're dependent on it.
And so I'd love to have a conversation, which we're going to have today, about doing that with those meetings. Because even when they did come, they did the job they came to do. They lacked the meeting. That if they would have been able to have time to dig out all the roots, we wouldn't be having the same conversation we have today, covered with mulch every day. Anyway, that's how we deal with our gardens. But if in fact it has to be the county, that doesn't offer up that opportunity. So my point once again is when counties and cities don't have the funds, just in a generic fashion, working these partnerships to me seems to be a logical way to go. So there you go.
And
that's my 2 cents.
I can respond to the comment as well. Public Works, especially through Parks and Rec, relies on volunteer labor in many of their parks. Gibbs Park, Irondale Park are both almost entirely maintained by volunteers. So there's a volunteer, there's a process that we can get there, and I'm speculating right now. I'd want to talk to the Public Works Director to make sure that this was safe. I mean, it's about the release of liability and, coming up with a plan and then signing folks up as volunteers and just kind of creating a program that is safe for everyone and, achieves all of our goals. So I'm happy to, I'll touch on that with the Public Works Director as well when I reach out to him. So I think it's about.
And our responsibility really is to the whole community, but we are 501(c)(3), we are an organization, not, just haphazardly, wanting to do something.
Right.
Anyway, can you help us out there?
Yeah, for sure. Or, we put it in a rain garden and extension will take care of it. I don't know.
I'm glad to see you out there.
Okay. Great.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, Chief Black, you are up.
Greg stole my thunder, I was gonna do this over. Sorry. I don't stand still very well, so I might kind of move around, but 3 topics I was gonna just bring up today. Updates on our facilities, our fleet, and our people. To talk about our facilities, some of you might have noticed that Station 8 down on South Point Road has a new paint job. We spent an extensive amount of time and money replacing some dry rotted siding on the south side of the structure, and went and hired a contractor to do that work and paint the building. The Chincombe station is undergoing the same paint scheme, and they both look like brand new buildings. So we're really happy that we've been able to catch up on some of our facility needs that had been postponed. So I think that's one of the direct impacts of the successful levy. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody that supported us with the levy. Other news in our facilities, we have a facilities technician now that we never had before. We were subcontracting it out or contracting it out. So now we have a full-time person whose primary job is to make sure the facilities and their systems are all working great. So we're up and compliant with all our inspections for the HVAC systems, our elevator. Believe it or not, we have a fire station with an elevator. Those will all have to be inspected regularly, as Diane knows. That's going to be a real hassle. We're also upgrading some of the electrical at the Oak Bay station here, Station 7 as well. And some of you might have also noticed our wildfire effect signs that went up at 4 of our facilities. And we really want to thank the county for partnering with us and supporting that grant. But that was procured through a DNR grant last year. And the system that's put in place is actually set by the county fire marshal in cooperation with the fire chiefs. But the risk factor is set by the county fire marshal. And we'll be budgeting to get a couple more signs spread throughout the district, not just at our facility, but I'm sure some other relevant locations would be prudent. Talking about our fleet, we brought in 2 replacement ambulances earlier this year, and now they're up and running, fully outfitted. And with a contract that we had existing for some of our advanced life support equipment, our cardiac monitors, our stair chairs, our electric gurneys. Some of you might not be aware, but we have electric gurneys and autonomous stair chairs now. All of that's been upgraded, and our people have been trained. It took about 4 months to get all of that equipment up and running and people trained on it. So that is behind us, which is a big hurdle. We have a dozen ambulances, so that takes a lot of logistics and training, and we have 105 members. So it was a big chore, but that's all behind us now. So we're glad to be over that hump with our equipment, and it's exciting to see the cell phone tower project come to fruition, because that connectivity plays a key role in how we provide ongoing life-saving advanced life support for all of you while we're en route. When we drop connectivity, that has a direct relation on how we communicate with the advanced life support at UW or wherever we're transporting the patient. So that cellular connectivity is really important for our business. And then when we talk about personnel, recently our Deputy Fire Chief, Pete Brummel, announced his retirement. So he'll be retiring at the end of July. We're very excited for him. We're going to be celebrating him. And we just completed a promotional process, selection process for his replacement, which we did a nationwide recruitment and ultimately selected our very own battalion chief, Jason McDonald, who is also a Port Ludlow resident. So now you have the two executive leaders of the agency in Port Ludlow. We're taking over. And we're really excited about that. He'll start his new role on July 1. He's going to take a couple weeks off before the pain starts, and he'll come back refreshed. And we're really excited about that. And then hot off the presses, the commissioner doesn't even know this yet, but the last personnel announcement we have is I extended a job offer to our new volunteer coordinator this morning, and we're really excited to have Riley come aboard, and she's going to do a great job managing and shepherding our volunteers, which are pivotal in our 911 response, our public education, and everything else that we do. So we're really proud of that. Anybody have any questions?
I'm just curious, do you know when you're gonna pivot up to high on fire risk this year?
No. We're meeting regularly. We had a meeting Monday. Our fire chiefs had a meeting Monday, and we decided to keep it where it's moderate. We're watching the weather very closely and trying to make sure that we're not missing an opportunity. But the conditions have to match a certain definition for each of those threat levels. It wouldn't be prudent to just arbitrarily raise it to a level that's not meeting the threat level that we see. I mean, this morning it was raining on my way to work, and it's hard to say that right now at this point in time to raise the high, but the weather may be changing, and as we all know, if we don't like the weather, just wait 20 minutes or drive 20 minutes and it'll be something different. But we're prepared to meet again on a moment's notice in collaboration with the county fire marshal to reassess the hazard if that needs to happen. So, and we'll make sure the messaging is well broadcast as well.
Can I ask, just to tag on to that, pardon my ignorance, but
Yep.
once that moves up or down, is that enforced countywide?
Yes,
All right, thank you.
it's not just our district.
It's not, it is implemented county.
Yeah, there's just a little refresher for those of you that might not be fully aware. We have 4 fire districts in eastern Jefferson County. That's us, Wilson, Brennan, and Discovery Bay. The 4 fire chiefs counsel the county fire marshal, who's ultimately the one that decides to change it. But we have a really good collaborative relationship with the fire marshal's office, and we provide our wisdom and some of the challenges that we might be facing he considers before he'll change it up or down.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Lastly, a couple shameless plugs. We have more attendance here than we get at our fire board meetings. I think I said that more than once, and we'd be honored to have some of you join us. Our next board meeting's on June 16th at the Jefferson Firehouse and virtual as well. And then we are really excited and getting spooled up for June 27th, the All County Preparedness Day. I know I'm going to see most of you there, but for those at home that don't know about it, it's a great way to dust off your disaster preparedness practices in your household and in your neighborhood. So, thank you. Yes?
What time is the June 16th meeting?
3 p.m.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
We can all be there, except our workshop ends right at 3 on
I
the
know.
same Thursday
I
you
agree
guys
with
meet.
that. Yeah.
Maybe we'll stay late and we'll all jump in virtually or something.
What, I was just gonna say, join virtual.
Maybe we will. We'll come in as a group one of these days.
Or we could end early and just go. Just
Thanks, Chief.
Any other questions? No? All right, thank you.
Go grab your mic and just bring it over. You want me to go grab it? Can you bring that over, anyway, hand it to Carolyn, and then we'll keep it up here for the duration?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Add that to my resume?
Yes.
That's right. She did a great. Okay, we're gonna move on to HOA updates. Joan is not here, but Carolyn is, despite saying she wouldn't be. So here is the SBCA.
Yes, fresh off the river part. So, we have a lot going on in SBCA. Our landscaping for the front of our facility should start somewhere in mid-June. We've got a bid, we've done all the work, and so we're excited about that. We actually had 3 bids, and we settled on 1 proposal, so that's really great. As always, thinking about our annual meeting, that's July 15th, 1 p.m. Our election package should go out somewhere around June 10th to all our members. Pancake breakfast tomorrow, and it's the Salmon Coalition. It's a great breakfast, so it's one of our best events, pancake breakfast. And let's see, Member Social on June 12th. It's burgers and dogs. It's a barbecue. Jeff is going to be one of the grill masters, and that'll be fun. $25 per ticket, and mostly because we're having a band, and the band is called Still Got It. and they're a really great band. Our lectures and presentations have been going strong. Thank you to PLBC for helping us to announce them and get that out and put them in the voice as well. Today was on earthquakes, and I guess it was really pretty interesting. We had our retired CIA historian come, as well as our, our other folks that have been doing a really great job. And we met with a couple of folks who are big club members who want to start a theater petanque group here in Port Ludlow. And so I reached out to Jeff to see if we could think about doing it in a Port Ludlow way instead of just SBCA, instead of just only our members plus guests coming, and it's a theater club to the Port Townsend group, and they're very interested. So anyway, that may be coming in the future.
Yeah, I met with them this morning.
Petanque. It's the French version. They won't like me saying this, of bocce ball.
I said it this morning.
And they would look at you and roll their eyes. They have boules, and the boules are metal. They're not plastic or hard plastic or whatever. And they have a court, a specific court, and there's a league. And they play championships and things, and they just would love to have a feeder club in Port Ludlow, not so much as being an SBCA club, but maybe a Port Ludlow club. And so I think working here with PLC might be a great thing to do.
I was gonna say, spoiler, Diana, I'm gonna come and talk to you.
They like a gravel court. And we had one with the leaves, not the best for punk. I'll help you with the spelling. Okay, so that's all I have. A lot going on, fun stuff.
So, the difference between petanque and bocce, you roll the ball, and petanque, you toss the ball onto a gravel court instead of a grass court.
Yeah.
Other than that, they're very, very similar names.
But they don't like you to think that.
And I did meet with them this morning, and I told them I would come and talk to Diana about maybe trying to find space. It would be a cool thing to have, it just, because it'd be a cool community thing. And apparently there's a couple of people at the Port Townsend Petanque Group Club. They play at Fort Worden. I don't know if you've ever noticed it, but there's these gravel patches on the west side, over by the campground, the kids' summer camp. I always wondered what it was until we had this conversation. I don't know, whatever. A couple of those people are apparently world-ranked petanque players, and
You travel.
travel the world playing petanque.
Yes.
Who knew?
You play, this year's annual thing is in France, or it's in, in Germany. I mean, they go everywhere, so.
Does somebody pay for you?
No.
No.
No. It's
Petanque.
Don't forget the accent on the E. Petanque. Petanque. Just like it sounds, Colleen. Just like it sounds. Well, I was close. Accent on the first E.
All I can think of is a Toby Keith song, but whatever.
My report.
That's the SBC.
Nice
I
stand.
thought a couple of people got the job.
Yeah, I looked up at the recommendation for the anchoring, just if I could just give that bit of information. It's kind of an open conversation, both about impounding abandoned boats, which is when they over anchor basically. And then he suggested Oak Harbor's rules, which are an off-season 72 hours and on-season 14 days. So significantly more restrictive than the state. But that's a recommendation he made to begin the conversation.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we will move on to board business. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Jeannie. First thing on our list is approval of the May 7th BOD meeting minutes, which I sent out, got a bunch of corrections for, which I made, and oh, is that what happened? I'm like, what am I hearing?
Ghost hunters.
Ghost line,
Ghost hunters.
Does everybody have a copy of the agenda who's left? And I can just not worry about the TV? Yeah. This one drops the connection a lot. for some reason. Oh, that's what it is. I'm here, yeah. Okay. Sorry, I had the live stream up, and I couldn't figure out where the echo was. So, I did make the changes that were suggested via email. So if there are no other changes,
I'll make the motion to accept the minutes with the changes that you made.
Second.
awesome.
Jeff?
Any further discussion on these? And if not, all in favor?
That's quite a feeling here.
Thank you very much. And the winner is Maria Abrams.
Who?
Right, Maria Abrams, and she, Maria, I believe, lives here in Port Ludlow.
Perfect.
So I'll be calling her and hand delivering her prize. She got the first prize that we were giving away, which is a coffee and chocolate basket with all sorts of goodies in it. So
Get a photo. We need a photo of you.
That would be
I
awesome.
will, I promise.
Okay, so I think we're done. It's 4:24.
But there's no Joan.
There's no Joan to make a motion. Would somebody like to stand in for Joan to make a motion?
I make a motion that this meeting be adjourned.
Is there a second
Second.
in the house? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right.
Thank you.
Woo-hoo.
There. I promise you, Maria.
Bye, thank you.